Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Business Talks. My name is Chawanne Burns. If this is the first time you tuning into this channel, please click the like and subscribe button. We're going to get into it. We got a lot of things that I want to cover about the village of Dalton. It was an explosive meeting last night. The firefighter showed up. It's very shameful that I believe that money was stolen. They was trying to gain access to that money for several years now. And the money that was supposed to have been paid into their 401k, things of like their insurance, I just believe that money is gone. Even their union dues. We know Keith D. Freeman has access to it. And I just believe that money is gone. And we know that they're in a deficit. We know they only have like $400,000 in their village bank account. So we don't know what Tiffany and her henchman is doing with this money. So we're going to discuss that. And I got another little topic I want to talk about. But you guys, thank you for tuning in and stay tuned. Something like this. Looks a little bit like I can't miss. Hey, this is what you call a bad. What? This is what you call a bad. Something like this. Looks a little bit like I can't miss. Hey, this is what you call a bad. What? This is what you call a bad. That's right. You guys put in the chat, let me know where you're viewing from. Please put in the chat, let me know where you're viewing from. Let's see who we have in the building. I see there is Sonia R. Much respect to Jedidah for bringing it back to light. Holmes thought it was just going to go away, and it's not. We do want some answers. Why do my camera look crooked? Let me just fix this right quick. We want some answers, and I'm glad he end up saying something about it. You know what? Jedidah got arrested, and I called the precinct. He still is not being charged with anything. They kept me on hold for about 45 minutes. He's not being charged, or he has not been charged. They're not going to release that information to you. But from what I've talked, when I talked to the sergeant, they said it's up to quote unquote detectives. It's not up to the detectives. They're just fishing for something for them to charge him with. And it's based off of Tiffany's command. Whatever Tiffany says, that's why they're going to hold him for 48 hours. Anyway, so the end of the night, Jedidah was arrested. Okay, so all eyes on me. Thank you for tuning in. I'm glad he called out the rapist, Andrew Holmes, but he did what they asked people not to do, which was disrupt the meeting. Stephen Nimley, hello to you. Carolyn Cruz, thank you for tuning in. Jed was smooth last night. Patricia Day, thank you for tuning in. Andrew beckoned Jed, come here, come here. Jed was transported to the hospital. Also, I think Miss Stubbs with blood pressure. So Patricia, you're saying that Jedediah and Valerie Stubbs was transported to the hospital. Well, he's at the precinct now. They said he was asleep in a cell. Don't play with my yo-yo. It was wild last night, all for the right reasons. Jed never swung at Andrew, but because he walked towards him, all hell broke loose. Make it make sense. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Nurse Petty, salute to you, Chawanne, in the chat. Don't play with my yo-yo is in the building. Let's see. MB Burke, what is good? Good afternoon to you. Lexi is in the building. It's good to see you. And Artist says the walls are closing in. You're right. Jane Davis from UK. We got Kafa from Atlanta. Wyoming Girl is from Oregon. Why is your name Wyoming Girl and you're from Oregon? You move. It's a transplant. You grew here, not flew here. No. Wyoming Girl is in the building. Nurse Petty, Thornton Township. I see we have Virginia Beach in the building. The Tammy Tyler Moore Show. Thank you for tuning in. The Lady and Son, Conyers, Georgia. Kim Johnson from Chicago. We have somebody from artist from Indiana. Rob from Winnie Holland. Spiky. I'm viewing from space. Thank you. Thank you for viewing from space. Hopefully your antenna is charged. Measured Men, Houston, Texas. Lucky Ducky from Chicagoland. Gwen, Oklahoma. Janice Brooks from Compton, California. Cocoa Beach, Florida. Dave Singerman and Honey B, Richmond, Virginia. Who else we have? YB from Mississippi. Pull Up Shorty. Cantler Road, Decatur, Georgia. Okay. He gave us the street name. What's your zip code? Measured Man, thank you for the $5 super chat. It's always appreciated. You guys, thank you. It's always appreciated when you support the channel. MB Burke, Queens, New York. Sing Shot Life. So can we bond them out? They haven't charged him with anything. So if they charge him with something, he has to go before the judge, and then they will give him a bond. That's normally how it works, but I'm not for sure. Bob Long, wasn't he fired? Yeah, well, not from the village of Dalton. I don't know what the legislation is. You think he could be voted out if it's a serious charge? But you know what? Andrew Holmes hasn't been charged criminally. He has not. It's just an allegation. So until Las Vegas Police Department charge him with something, maybe there's some legislation in the village of Dalton for him to step down as a trustee. I'm not for sure what would come with that. I don't think Tiffany, even if he was charged with a crime, you're innocent until proven guilty. Tiffany, she doesn't have the wherewithal to say, okay, this looks bad based off of the things that Tiffany has done in the past. You hired people with criminal backgrounds. Not to say you can't hire people with criminal backgrounds, but you as a mayor and the types of positions that you have given these people, it doesn't look good. You're in a political office. It doesn't look good. You guys might say, oh, they've served their time, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't look good. It doesn't. Nobody likes it. Okay. So given Tiffany history on criminal relationships, she would never tell Andrew Holmes to step down, because that's one vote that's being taken away from her. She doesn't have the wherewithal to do that kind of stuff. Anyway, much more. We're gonna Laura Logan, David Thornburg, Byrne. You guys really, I appreciate you from tuning in. Okay, I'm just gonna get into it. I put some timestamps on here. They talked about some things that I want to get into. I really want to show you guys where the fire people talked, or the firemen, and it's some other speakers that spoke. Jedadiah Brown, Burgundy Blue, Brittany Norwood, all those people I want to talk about. So this right here is where the firefighters came in to talk and express their concerns in regards to their money. Okay. They was asking where the hell their money at.
Hey, with fellow members of 3766 looking for answers.
Sorry, let me slow it down.
Since January of 2020, the village has chose not to settle a contract and refused to bargain with us. They have ignored all requests to reach an agreement and resolve the current situation going on within the fire department. After endorsing Mayor Henyard in 2021, she proceeded to replace our full-time deputy chief with a part-time deputy chief who contributed to her campaign fund. This is where the problems began. Local 3766 filed and won the grievance on a clear violation of our contract. What followed was a dysfunctional negotiation process, which leads us to inform the residents that we've been serving the village without a contract for 5 years. Currently, the village still refuses to negotiate, making progress extremely difficult and if not impossible. The second issue is our 457 accounts, which have been in litigation since 2022. This account is set up for individuals to invest their own money into a retirement fund. The money is withdrawn from the members' paychecks and is supposed to be sent to Nationwide. The village does not follow these steps and has no accountability of where the money is or if they've spent it. Once this was discovered, the administration was informed via email by the previous union president that these missing deposits can be considered theft of wages. They reacted by placing him on administrative leave for inappropriate emails. To this date, we are still 9 to 10 deposits short. This shows lack of accountability and is an act of gross negligence. The third issue, health insurance. Health insurance is covered under the collective bargaining agreement, Article 14. The members of the fire department have run into several problems with our premiums not being met. This has led members and families' claims being denied, but also being sent to collections. This has been brought up to the village numerous times. All requested data have been ignored. Agreements was filed and escalated to step 4. The fourth issue is our union dues. Per our collective bargaining agreement, Article 3, dues checks, the village is responsible for contributing union dues. We were missing 11 checks since 2023, $12,610. We received 3 unspecified checks. This can also be looked at as theft of wages. Keith Freeman's response to the step 3 process was, this is an issue on the trustees that they do not vote for the bills from the warrant list at the board meetings. The newest issue is work comp. In the past, we've had multiple issues with work comp to where members have been hurt on the line of duty and their claims have not been filed properly, which led to multiple members being sent to collections. I know that the police department is dealing with similar issues. So my question is, do we have workman's comp insurance? The Dalton Fire Department is here to serve and protect the residents of the village of Dalton, and we do this with pride. We will continue to serve despite the fact our health insurance is not being paid, our retirement funds are being taken from us, and workers' compensation claims are not being handled properly. These are serious issues, and they need to be addressed and fixed immediately.
Can you just imagine working at a job? This guy seems pretty young. I don't know how long he's been part of the firefighter or even a union. You're in a union. You don't have a contract, and you've been working on this job, well, maybe 15, 20 years. Some of these guys have just started, but you've been working without no contract, paying your dues, paying your insurance, paying your premiums, but the village that you work for doesn't pay their portion. Can you imagine that? You go into you get injured on your damn job. You get injured on your job for workman's comp. And they said, oh, well, you don't got insurance because your employer hasn't been paying the insurance. So you have a bill. You got to pay for it out of pocket. That's a slap in the face. These are service people. Anyway, so that was that. And you know, the guy that he mentioned, the guy that was over the fire department, this was a couple of years ago. They suspended him because when Tiffany was trying to gain access to their money, he started questioning her and why she wanted to gain access. He had too many questions. They put him on suspension. They didn't fire him, but he was suspended. And eventually that guy is retired now. But so, you know, the people that they did have in place kind of protecting them, they probably pushed them out. They're not there anymore. That's the type of shit that Tiffany has to answer for. And then it irritates the hell out of me to see other people trying, oh, we all gotta get along. No, if you worked a job 20, even 5 years and you've been paying into something and all of a sudden you don't have it. So yeah, you will be pissed off because you're messing with people's livelihoods. This is what I was saying yesterday. Clickbaitish, whatever. This is a hot topic, but we are actually talking about people's lives. It's not even funny. It's disgusting.
All right. Call the next person.
I don't know if I want to play this.
Next person to the mic, please.
I wrote it out.
Yeah, she always speaks. She's going to talk about this murder that happened on June 13th, and they haven't said anything about it. Nobody's said anything about it. They just acting like it never happened.
Even get up here. Oh, okay. I thought she started it. All right. So I'm be calm today. Just wanted to address first the trustees and just thank you guys for the wonderful job you're doing. Minus Stan and Andrew. Andrew, I don't even know why you're here. Stan, did you step down from the township yet? Because that's what you said you was going to do the last meeting. All right. So it's just ridiculous that we have a corrupt mayor and somebody that's just so evil and that just don't care about the residents. All of us hardworking, educated residents, and we have this to deal with. This is a shame. This is a sham. The fire department, they just came strong. Do we even have a benefit specialist for the village of Dolton? Like, that should be like the person that should be answering these questions is actually the benefit specialist for Dolton. I'm going to go a little bit off topic, but I feel bad for them because they're not getting what they're supposed to get. And we have HR, and HR should be in charge of benefits. Why is that not being paid? That's ridiculous. I guess that's the reason why she didn't hire me, because I was supposed to be her HR, but then she went with whoever else that's not up there to, I guess, defend what these people are talking about. Anyway, just gonna ignore her because she ignores everybody else. Let me just say that I'm not gonna be long. I do have an event coming up. Since I can't do much stuff in the township throughout Thornton, I have partnered with Robbins, the village that Keith Price stole $90,000 from. Remember that? Yeah. So I have partnered with them to do an event. It's a back to school event. It's at the end of August. I am taking wig donations. Tiffany, if you have any you want to donate, you can. I'm also taking school supplies as well as other things. If you guys want to reach out, my email address is survivorviv1@gmail.com. I am taking all donations that you guys can give. It's for back to school, it's for the children, and it's for the residents. It's definitely for patients that have cancer or that have went through radiation, something that, you know, she promised that she would do for people, but she's not going to do it. So I'm just going to try and do my best. And with the help of anybody that's able to help, I would definitely appreciate it. And I just wanted to speak on the murder that happened in Dalton that she still haven't addressed. It's ridiculous because the funeral is Friday and she haven't even said anything. We know Andrew Holmes is not going to get up and say anything because he's not us, excuse me, for us. But it was a murder that happened in Dalton. If anybody have any video footage on this street, please, please, please let us know because it happened June 13th at 1 a.m.
3 minutes are up.
Oh, thank you. Because you want me to stop talking about a murder that you won't
Your
talk
3 minutes
about.
are up. Who's next?
Respectful now.
And you know, like I said, these people are real people. We're talking about a murder. Okay, you get your 3 minutes, and then the guy that's filling in for Lacey talking about be respectful. You can't even respect the dead. You don't even respect the dead. That's how lousy of a person you are.
Good evening, most everyone. Let me start. I've had an epiphany, and I wanted to apologize for a comment I made at the Thornton Township meeting that there was no disrespect to her daughter intended. However, I understand things can be misconstrued, misinterpreted. So I wanted to just set the record straight. It was a total compliment. It wasn't a diss, but I do apologize if it was taken that way. Tiffany, I didn't intend for it to be any kind of diss. The diss was directly toward you. So I just wanted to make that clear and apologize for anyone that misconstrued my intention. Having said that, Tiffany, why do you not care about other people's children? Long live Alexis Wilson. You know, you never made a comment that was, with regard to the family and what they were going through. You know, that in and of itself is a travesty. I mean, as a mayor, someone in your position to not even acknowledge such an egregious act from your department at the time. So I don't understand why there's such a distinction on caring about children. Then, also the, excuse me. Okay. Also, the park district, to find the park district because they're trying to beautify the parks and make them safe for the children. What's the point or purpose in that? Who doesn't like a nice park? Who doesn't want to take their children to a nice, safe park with mulch? To give them fines like that, for your political agenda is just not right. It doesn't benefit the residents. It's not a good look. And I don't understand, why you continue to try to paint the park district in a bad light. You had a video, you were live after an event. I'm not even sure what your intention was, but it seems like it was to show the park district in a bad light. It looked like it was staged. There were bottles and just things left behind, which, I don't know the authenticity of that video. It looked staged, honestly, because I do think that the Park District Commissioner, really puts a lot into making sure that the parks stay up to par. So not sure why that is. Also, just want to speak to why you think it's okay to just run things the way that you want them to go. And anytime there's a problem, you allow your henchmen to attack. Even at the township meeting, when the trustees stand up for themselves, you basically let the vendors just unleash their war on the trustees for asking questions, for making sure that they follow the process. And it's just so unprofessional that you would subject, your colleagues to that when they are asking valid questions and making valid points. Thank you, everyone. Have a great night.
All right, who's next?
Okay, so Valerie Stubb, she did talk. I don't understand. How can you fine a park district, give them a city fine? I'm pretty sure is Dolton Township under the park district, or park district under Dolton Township, or is just a separate entity? Anyway, you find them. Don't you have a phone like, hey, it looks kind of messy over here. Y'all want to get over here and clean it up? But you find them. That's kind of wild, because is the village of Dalton is only 20,000 people. It's only 4 square mile radius. Like, come on now. I'm pretty sure you know the person who's over the park district. Anywho, this is Jedadiah. This is not the part where he got arrested, but he started talking, addressing Andrew Holmes. Well, he addressed Andrew Holmes in this one and Tiffany Henyard.
Comment? Who else? You got one more? Is that it? Renee?
This is crazy. Testing. Basically, on May 8, 2021, history was made, and you became the first Black female mayor inaugurated into office in Dalton. It's as what a Dalton forward with a platform for change and an intent on moving Dalton forward. Instead, this administration has made Dalton the concern of the nation, if not the world, with a future full of uncertainties. In 2023, this high of yours, Mayor Henyard, became a public spectacle as you decided, at the behest of the men you choose to be surrounding yourself with, men who understand criminality and not the government. You came to handle the people's business dressed as Nemo Brown, a movie crime boss, and in turn gained the attention of the media in a way Dalton never deserved. Instead of highlighting the historic achievement that God gave you, you literally are going to, and to be the beacon of hope, especially to Black women and Black girls. This administration has been nothing short of an example of everything not to do. And you have hijacked the constituents' procession to progress. In our investigation of the INA, and this is my Lori-like report, our findings are becoming more clear as the days progress. We find this administration to be self-serving, like the $1.2 million Just Ice rink, and not the gym of a fountain, or not repairing the gym of a fountain at the heart of the village. And you did it without board approval. Enriching through charities and real estate ventures and kickbacks. Negligent at the continuous hiring of unqualified henchmen that are weaponized in government at your beck and call. Complicit, not pressing your department to solve vital cases, and your political allies to address allegations as egregious, even as sexual assault. Retaliatory, considering the amount of those seeking civil litigation as a legal remedy, and oppressive, for example, not even being able to conduct a meeting where people are not in a hostile environment giving public comment for where they live. As the mayor, we found you to be derelict in your duties, and you delegate funds inappropriately, not at the best interest of the residents, but at yourself, leaving the people of this community wanting for better. And your leading has caused the concerns of your constituents to thinking burdens and tax repercussions. In your police are trying to kick me out for fake restraining orders that no one has. However, it's really simple. You have lost the confidence of your residents.
Your 3 minutes are up.
Residents are in agreement to stand and give this mayor your back.
3 minutes are up. Your 3 minutes are up. Y'all do everything for clickbait. All right, anybody else? Who else? All right.
That wasn't clickbait. He was just speaking intelligently, and you got mad because you probably didn't understand half of the words he was saying. But he was talking about you, Tiffany. It wasn't clickbait. He was talking about you. This next one is Burgundy Blue. I don't know if you guys follow Burgundy Blue, but I guess her and Jedidah, they're kind of beefed out. I don't know if what type of lawsuits they got on each other. I believe Burgundy Blue has a restraining order against Jedidah. I'm not for sure what's going on with that, but I think it's a little bit ridiculous. Also, the lady that touched Jedidah by the arm, isn't that the one who filed something against Jedidah as well? You guys put in the chat, because I sometimes they wear wigs, sometimes they don't have a wig on, sometimes they don't have lashes on. So I can't tell them apart. But I believe this is wasn't it Staples that filed isn't it Staples? That's the one who filed the restraining order against him. And you're a police officer. So what do you mean? How can you file a restraining order against a person and you work at the building, at a public building? So he's not supposed to show up in a public space that you work at. You work for the city. It doesn't make sense. You guys make it make sense. I don't know. Anyway.
All right, Renee, you have the mic. All right, Renee, you have the mic.
Renee. Ladies first.
Who is Renee? Okay, go ahead. Now you have the floor.
Renee I believe she's going to talk about, can't we all just get along? I believe this is her.
First of all, I feel that the people who have been speaking up till now have been doing an eloquent job of it. I did not put my name on a list to speak. However, I was told I had to put my
Oh, no, this is not. This is the one lady that's going to give Tiffany a hard time.
name on a list to be in this building. But since you have called me out, I'm going to call you out. You're disrespectful. It's disheartening to see you. You have turned our whole community into, I don't want to use that word, let's say a circus. And the circus come to town, the clowns come out. And I'm looking at you guys and I don't appreciate it. And I don't appreciate how you sit there and disrespect people and don't even give them the courtesy of looking them in the eye. I'm looking at you. If they don't agree with you, you don't look, you're disrespectful. And it's sad. It's really sad. And I'm sorry that our village has come to this. And like I said, I have nothing prepared because my name was on a different list. But you want to call me out, let's do it. I don't understand why I don't understand that. And I don't.
And why is their audio going in and out? Like, you spending all this money, you can't get better audio? What is going on with that?
Appreciate that. Your house probably not even in Dalton. So when the fire come and the whole town burned down, you really don't give a damn. Anytime you treat the firefighters that way, it's deplorable. And like I say, I don't have anything planned to say because everybody else does it so eloquently. But it is what it is.
I'm on up.
All right, anyone else? Who?
Okay.
You guys are out of order. Go ahead.
All right.
Hi, sorry guys, I'm nervous. I usually don't speak at anything. And I gave everybody a chance to speak and say their piece. So I hope to have the same. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I have nothing against anyone on the board, not the administration, the clerk, or the mayor. I go by Burgundy Blue. I have counsel in the chat for doxing. So if you guys want to drop my name, that's doxing as well. So this is being recorded. I'm the creator of Burgundy Blue Commentary. I'm also a Dalton resident channel on YouTube. I've been covering the happenings in Dalton since February 2024. I stuck my toe out there because I thought it was just one-sided. And I wanted to, as a resident of this town for 38 years, throughout the years, I have always been a strong supporter of my community. And I've actively worked for the betterment of our village. I even worked for the village myself. My focus has always been presenting a comprehensive view of Dalton, especially history, showcasing all sides of our hometown through the ride-alongs and exploring. However, in April and May, I encountered harassment from an individual who came to investigate the mayor and Andrew Holmes. The person claimed to have received a call to come into Dalton from residents, elected officials, and law enforcement, which initially seemed innocent since they are the very people tasked with safeguarding our community, right? This is all because I would not stop communicating online with a content creator that most of the board and lots of residents use his platform to address their concerns as well freely. His logo was even worn by an elected official. When the media or opinions could not be controlled, he became a target, and then because I did not fall in line with the narrative. I did not attend a week called Hell Week, and that's when my life became hell. In an attempt to
Okay, you out
address
of order. Let
this
her-
All
issue,
right, give her time, give her time.
in an attempt to address this issue, I met with Trustee
Hey,
Jason.
be quiet.
To address this issue, I met with Trustee Jason House and former Trustee Ed Steve over breakfast, accompanied by a witness, to share my concern. Trustee Jason House assured me that things will be taken care of within 48 hours. Sadly, he could not help me, and those 48 hours turned into a nightmare when I received a notice of impending action from the same advocate who's been here to save us. My privacy was violated as my personal information and business were maliciously targeted. A lot of y'all are in that group that did it. And I was subject to public humiliation and threats towards my family and associates simply because I chose not to conform. I quote I watched the entire village watch this advocate say he was going to make sure I was penniless. Okay. So I'm just asking that we work together, and I'm asking for your help. Thank
Hey,
you.
quiet down, quiet down. Order, quiet down. Quiet down.
Okay, who?
I think she has a right to address her concerns, but of course, they probably they're more supporters of Jedadiah Brown, and of course you're gonna get a lot of slack if you're trying to act like you're supporting Tiffany Henyard. That's not gonna go over well. That's not gonna go over well. So, but I don't know what the details with Jedadiah Brown and her and the other guy that she's talking about, but I know it was a lot of back and forth, and I believe Burgundy. Somebody said I'm calling her the wrong name. I thought her name was Burgundy Blue online, but anyway, I know they went to court about something. So, I mean, it comes with the territory. If you're number one, if you're in political office, you're going to get a bunch of backlash. If you're online and you speak about one thing and people don't agree with it, you're probably going to get some comments in your comment section that people don't agree with, or you might not agree with. You might be offended. Somebody might dox you, which I think is wrong to get doxxed, but that might happen. It's against YouTube policy. I know that for sure, but that's why I use my real name, because I don't have nothing to hide. But anyway, that happened, and you see the crowd was giving her a hard time because she was speaking her mind, and basically she has a fight with Jedadiah. Let me see. They became very jealous when he started to get the shine and started a campaign to take him down. Yeah, that's another thing. One of the live streams that I watch with Jedadiah, I guess this one particular guy, he was saying that this guy was in his inbox, and I guess he never called him back, and I guess that kind of pissed him off. But it's YouTube, social media. What are you doing it for? Okay, are you doing it for likes and clicks? Okay, then you want to be the main person to get all the information or funnel the information. I mean, since Jedadiah came in and took over, quote unquote, I get some stuff that people are sending me, but not as much. Jedadiah is in Chicago. Well, he's able to travel to Chicago. And I'm not an activist. That's not what I do. I don't claim to be an activist. But I will report on some stuff, and I will find it out. Not investigative reporting. But I wouldn't get mad about okay, he's getting more views than I am. I think that's totally stupid. This next one, this guy, I'm not gonna play this guy. I don't think he's a citizen, but he has this whole spiel about we all need to get along. It's bad. Let's talk about leadership and all that stuff. But I want to get to Brittany Norwood. Brittany, she sheds light on why they have to have a special meeting after this meeting, because they don't get to put none of their issues or agenda on the agenda.
Are there any general announcements?
I'll go first.
Any general announcements?
Yes, I'm sorry, I'll go
All right,
first.
go ahead.
Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. I want to say that I listened to all of the residents speak today. And I know that the goal is to work together, right? I truly believe in the old adage. You want to go fast, you go alone. If you want to go far, you go together. The issue is that we have a mayor and administration that thinks this is a dictatorship, and it's not. This is not Russian. We do not have Putin up here. This is a democracy. And that's what I need everyone, the residents, to realize. We have residents that call me and said, hey, I received a $500 grass cutting fine. My job as a trustee is to work for the residents. So when I hear someone say that and there's a concern, it's my job to make sure that it's added to the agenda so that we can discuss it, because a problem for a resident is a problem for all of us. I have a senior who called me and said, hey, I have a pit bull in my backyard. It's been there for days. I want to know if you all have animal control. I take that as a concern. My job is to add it to the agenda so that we can have discussion, because we all have questions. These are the things that we really come here to discuss. Residents and concerns. This is how we have a better community. But yet, the administration don't even put our items on the agenda. And people wonder why we have a hard time working together. Something as simple as trying to add an agenda item so that we could discuss it for the residents. That's insane. So I'm going to leave it there, because on a positive note, I understand that we're all better together. So I want to thank you all the residents, all the support, all the love.
They can't put items on the agenda. That's why they can't work together. They are being prohibited of putting items on the agenda. So you're essentially stopping the trustees from doing their job, because you're trying to make them look bad. Let's call a spade a spade. You're consistently trying to make them look bad because you can't control them. Now, Tiffany says this a lot. They thought because I was young, they was going to control me. Well, I believe Norwood and probably Belcher, they probably all the same age. House is probably a tad bit older, but they're all probably just about the same age. Tiffany, you're not that young. 37, you should have common sense when you was elected. You're not that young. So when you're saying, oh, when I got elected, they thought they was going to control me because I was young. 37 is not young. I could see if you was 21 or maybe 30. I could see that, but you're 37. So you're telling us that they're trying to control you, but no, you're trying to control them. That's why they can't put items on the agenda. I'm going to get to Belcher. Belcher is going to say the same thing. We can't put items on the agenda. She's going to say the exact same thing.
Going on, and we appreciate everyone that is helping and supporting us. What I can say out of all of this foolishness is that it has brought the community together. And I say that because people that haven't even thought about politics come and watch, and it's not a show, but they're involved to see what's actually going on with their tax dollars. The sad part is we can't even get a business in here because of the fact of what's going on. No reputable business will want to come to our town because of the foolishness that's happening. I would address and say that please immediately following this meeting, remain in your seat, because we have a special board meeting. Why we have a special board meeting? Because we sent agenda items in to be placed on this agenda as a regular meeting, which we have the ability to do that, and they were removed. These are items that we have the ability, because we're trustees, we can do that. And for someone to continue to monitor, remove, and take off our items, it's a slap in the face. Yes, she is the chairperson, but it is the Village of Dalton Board of Trustees meeting. So as long as we have a quorum, we can have a special meeting here. It's a shame that we even had to go through this. If our items was placed on the agenda, we would go through the meeting and continue on and go about our way. But because of someone wanting to be a self-servant and not a public servant, these are the things that we're encountering. It's sad. And yes, G said clickbait. It's a shame that probably from now until she go to jail, we'll be looking at camera people in here. We shouldn't be on TV every first Monday about what's going on in the Village of Dalton. It's embarrassing. It's very embarrassing. But at the same time, the same person creates all this chaos. Are y'all not going to the Thornton meetings? Y'all see the same thing happening over there, and it's not the same people. So who is the common denominator? Who is the person that's really creating the chaos? So when people ask, you have absolutely the right to ask about your money because it's your money. You work hard for it, so you have the ability to ask about it. So when people going out of town, when people paying for stuff, when I'm shaking a hand to make a deal and not running it past the appropriate people that's supposed to approve it, then you should ask and you should hold those people accountable. Have a great day.
All right.
Yeah. So, and she's absolutely right. There's a system. This is a system. What's the common denominator? Tiffany Henyard. The same crap is going on in Thornton Township. Tiffany Henyard mentioned, matter of fact, they had a Thornton Township meeting yesterday, but Tiffany Henyard mentioned in the meeting prior to that saying, you guys are trying to bring this mess to Thornton Township. No, the mess is already there. We know that you probably tapped that bank account out too. You said they was running in the deficit when you took the Thornton Township over. They're still in the deficit. I'm pretty sure they just put some the Thornton Township bank statements up for 2023. They had like $5 million in that account, something like that. And I'm pretty sure that money's gone. If Tiffany saw that money, she probably like, oh my God, $5 million. Let me see what I could spend it on. I wouldn't be surprised. So she's going to, House. I want to get to House because House is going to talk about Lori Lightfoot's report.
Metal detectors, limited seating, the board decided that we felt that it was improper and we adjourned that meeting accordingly. Following that meeting, we've made 2 outreaches in April as well as in May through our attorneys to the Attorney General's office. We had not gotten immediate response. However, thankfully with assistance and persistence through residents as well, Mr. Dan Lee amongst other residents who have joined in the writing, we've been able to receive a response from the Attorney General's office on June 10th. They responded saying that the matter does determine further investigation and seek a response from the administration. That was June 10th, where the original letter came. June 28th, last Friday, apparently no response has been given. So a second request has been issued. And that second request is essentially saying that if we do not get a response, they have no choice but to deem this an Open Meetings Act violation. So hopefully there will be a response published for the residents, as we would look forward to that. As the board, we are waiting to get a proper ruling so that we can decide on next steps on that matter. So I wanted to make sure I make that comment because there are residents that asked why one meeting was adjourned and the others were not. We are trying to allow the process to play itself out. Secondly, update on the status, and we know the last meeting was less than pleasurable based on the request. So we do have an update, or I have an update email that was received from the investigation on former Mayor Lightfoot. Has emailed a response that I want to read into record, so that way hopefully this will be much more peaceful. So her statement: we are making consistent progress in addressing the questions the board has asked us to address in its resolution. We have conducted a number of witness interviews, many of which have been very informative and have led to the discovery of other relevant evidence. We have reviewed many lawsuits filed. We have reviewed historic village legislative action, and we have issued scores of Foya requests to the village of Dalton and elsewhere. As a result of this work, a picture is emerging of the village's finances, the way in which the current executive administration operates, many issues with the police department regarding staffing and operations, and overall how the village form of government does or does not comply with state law, its own ordinances, and long-standing norms regarding the village government. Not surprisingly, there have been obstacles. Chief among them is the village continues to ignore its obligations under Foya. There is seemingly no identifiable Foya officer as mandated by state law. Instead, the few communications, if any, are with any anonymous person who refuses to be identified themselves, again, a violation of state law among many issues. This non-compliance with Foya was expected, and we have a plan to address this and any continuing compliance issues. And while many witnesses have been generous in their willingness to be interviewed, the village mayor's failure to cooperate has a chilling effect on the current employees' willingness to speak or otherwise cooperate. We will continue to work to overcome this problem. While we have made consistent progress, more work needs to be done. We have been very efficient to date in the expenses incurred, and by our estimates, we are well under $20,000 to date. As obligated, we will provide a projection of all costs when we get closer to the $30,000 mark. And as always, we will continue to do our work in a manner that minimizes expenses while diligently following the facts. So that is the statement for the update on this report.
I don't know, maybe she's working on it part-time. We knew this. We knew that, what is her, Lori Lightfoot, maybe there's answering some FOIA requests. Some of them, they're going to have to go through the courts to get the answer from whoever's fulfilling the FOIA request. But they're getting stonewalled. We already knew that. So they're paying $440 an hour to get stonewalled, basically. That's basically what they're doing. And I guess he mentioned some violations, you know. We already knew that. We already know that they're violating the Open Meetings Request Act, FOIA Request Act, all the acts, they're violating those. So why is the Village of Dalton paying Lori Lightfoot to investigate and to do what? You're going to make a report and a discovery in your findings. And after the $30,000, she said they're well under $20,000. But have they made any leadway? I mean, some really substantial evidence saying, yes, this is some type of criminal activity. Not, it looks like, but is this like criminal activity that's going on? I'm just wondering. I'm just wondering. I'm glad he gave us a report, but I'm just wondering, at that $30,000 mark, are you going to make any progress saying, yes, we have some findings, and this is the report that Tiffany, this administration is acting illegal? Will you have a definite answer on that? And I don't think they're going to have one. I think it's just a waste of taxpayers' money right now. I really do. That's my own personal opinion.
I will note one obstacle that had arisen was a request issued by the mayor's office to the attorney general seeking to declare the appointment as unconstitutional. And on June 14th, we received the correspondence from the attorney general. I'll just read the last couple of lines. Therefore, the Public Access Bureau concludes the board did not violate OMA by voting to appoint Mrs. Lightfoot as special investigator on April 8th. This letter serves to close the file. And if you have any further questions, please contact me.
So Tiffany, remember Tiffany got on that live stream, and her and Keith Price, she's saying her influencer got on the live stream and said, oh, they're acting illegal. They can't appoint nobody. I'm the only one that could appoint somebody. You're wrong, Tiffany. You're wrong. So how do you feel? She got her head down. She probably mad as hell. The DOJ, so you're going to say the DOJ is wrong too.
So those were two updates we wanted to give because those are questions that residents have asked. So I hope that gives some sense of direction. Similarly, I want to kind of second Mary Avant's statement of just trying to make sure that we express ourselves and do so in a decent and orderly manner. I think for the most part, we've all been, everybody's expressed themselves. The passion is there and it should be there for what's going on. And we also want to make sure we represent ourselves well. So I want to thank everybody for their comments, and by and large, we did well. So thank you. And that concludes my comments.
All right. Is there anybody else? Is it end of general announcements? All right, next on the agenda is, you got something?
Yeah.
Stan Brown, he's gonna say he's not retiring. The kids begged him to stay from Dolton Township until they find a replacement. That's what he's gonna say. I don't want to play that, but that's what he's basically saying. And everybody needs to work together. Anyway, if you want to revisit that, time step 12537. I'm not going to play it. Now, this whole thing with Tiffany, her whole report, she says the same thing over and over again. She really has a sore thumb with the taxes because that's all she talks about is the taxes. Somebody put in the chat, this is like Groundhog's Day. You know, it replays over and over again. Y'all say the same thing over and over again. Tiffany, you saying the same thing over and over again. They didn't raise the taxes. Get over it. Just move forward. And then she's going to go through her report, blah, blah, blah.
It's a shame that we cannot band together, make sure we lead with love and not hate. It's said that we see someone elevating and you guys do not want to see them grow. You want to have that crab in the barrels mentality and pull people down. It's a shame that the youth have to see that. We want to teach them that when they see someone elevate, congratulate, help them grow, help them up the ladder. Don't try to keep them down here where you are just because you don't have access to them no longer. You hate to see them leave or grow. They need growth, guys. So I just want to point that out because, like I said, me today, you tomorrow. As you do my town, I see you guys are scattering the love throughout other cities and municipalities. It will be the same. So I tell people to watch what you pray on other people for because it will hit your doorstep as well. As relates to taxes, property taxes. I know that the board keep not telling you the truth about property taxes. I know that I played a video at maybe several meetings ago and I explained to you who raises your property taxes. The Board of Trustees raise your property taxes every single year. I showed you that, showed you proof, gave you ordinances, and showed you who voted to raise your property taxes. So when you get to the podium and you say, I don't understand why my taxes are high, I don't understand why this, and I showed you the why. The why is this board has raised your property tax over and over again every single year. And then also it's other government bodies that raises your taxes. You have library board, you have the park board, you have the school district. It's
I wanted to point out though, okay, the board, I guess every 3-4 years they vote on something. But anyway, she's correct. They raised their property taxes, whatever, over the last 5-6 years. But let's point out the very last vote to raise the property taxes, they voted not to raise the property taxes. They wanted to have the exact amount, the exact same amount of last year. So 0% raise. Why is Tiffany mad about this very thing? She wants to raise the property taxes. She got so upset that they didn't vote to raise the property taxes of the 4.99% that she claims that they don't need to take a vote on. But that was untrue. Trustee House called her out on it. But Tiffany, you're trying to raise the property taxes and they voted no. So why are you mad about it? Just move forward. Maybe next year they will vote and say, yeah, we need to collect more money because we're in a deficit. Let's collect more money. Reason why they voted no, because they don't know where they're at. They don't know how their finances are. They don't trust you, Tiffany. That's why that millage didn't pass in Dolton Township, because none of the cities trust you with their money. They don't even want you to raise 5 cents. That's what they claim. It's, oh, we only get 5 cents per $1,000. Well, they don't even want to give you 5 cents. We can't even trust you to buy penny candy at this point. That's what Belcher said. They can't trust you. So stop hounding on the property taxes. Get over it.
other people, but people tend not to go and check out facts. You just listen to what somebody tell you on how government works. And they raise about 4.99%. Sometimes they have raised it higher. I'm gonna send that video out just so everybody get in their emails and do a text blast so you'll know what it is. I also would like to say we are doing our parade. It will be June 3rd. June 3rd is our Independence Day parade. If that's June, I'm sorry, July. I'm sorry, my bad. I got the wrong date on here, but it's July. July 3rd is our parade. It will be starting here at Village Hall, and it will go straight down Greenwood Falls to Sibley. We make a right, and we will end up on Cottage Grove. So if anybody want to partake in that, you want to line up along Greenwood Falls, you can. Line up start at 11 a.m. and the parade will start at noon. We push it back a little later. We might change it tomorrow, so we'll send an update email and text blast if we do change it to 2 o'clock. Because I know some people said they still had to work. Again, this is something that I bought back when I became mayor in 2021. We no longer had the parades for over a decade, and I wanted to make sure I brought back that unity because that's one reason why we came to Dalton. They used to always do the parades. They used to always have the fireworks show, and I wanted to make sure that people understand what love looks like because people can tell you they love you, but I come from the show me state, right? Show me you love me. It's putting in the work.
Love doesn't look like stealing people money, Tiffany. Stop it. You guys. She claims she has delusions of grandeur. She thinks she's bigger than what she is. It's like, what are you talking about? She's going to go on and she starts to compare herself to Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. Let me play this for you.
I also would like people to know that it will be free music. It'll be music there, free games, free fun, free love, free food. We will also have food vendors there for those that do not live in our town. You will have to pay the vendors. I want people to come out, have a safe gathering, and make sure you bring your loved ones. There's a ton of kids that's normally out there, so it's a lot of fun. But I would like everybody to come and have a peaceful activity for the day because I know the 4th is Thursday. Some towns are doing things, and some are doing it on the weekend. So please come out and join us here in the village of Dalton. Again, it is July 3rd, and the lineup starts at 11 a.m. and the parade will begin at noon. So we're gonna give you an hour to line up. Next, I would like people to know we just did our ribbon cutting for the JB skate night. It was really dope, epic. Everybody came out. There was a lot of youth out there. And when I say the youth came out, the youth had an amazing time. I love the fact to see people with their families and their loved ones. Half of the time they would be at the nightclub or at home. And now they had the time of their life to engage with their kids, which was awesome to me. I even had my kid out there. So people, you should attend the things so you can see for yourself another perspective of what we do here in the village and not just he say, she say stuff like you're in high school. We're going to play the video, and I just want people to understand I'm happy. Leave me alone because I am. And I just want you to know with all the hate, because the hate makes you great, right? But you just got to lead with love and stay positive and keep going. And to my youth, never, never, ever give up. It's going to always be someone that's going to doubt you, come for you, attack you, and not want you to grow. It's part of the process. But at the end of the day, remember, if it's no test, how would you ever have a testimony? So make sure you continue to grow throughout the controversy and don't worry about the noise and what anybody got to say about you. Because at the end of the day, I keep telling you, you go home to your loved ones. All these people here, all these, you see what they did? This going on. That's just catting. That ain't nothing else but mess. Just keep going. Don't give up. If you look at all the greats before me, whether it's the Malcolm X's, whether it's the different people, you will see the growth in them. You will see that they all went through controversy, but they was the baddest leader.
All right, be quiet,
they was a
bring it
great leader. And I just want you too to know that you could be a great leader as well. And I want the youth to know, hey, don't give up on I call it politics. Don't give up on it. Keep on growing.
This is almost vomiting worthy. Like, shut the hell up. What the hell are you talking about, Tiffany? You're not one of the greats. You'll probably go down as the worst mayor ever. What not to do? What not to do? What type of things not to do as a mayor or a politician? They're going to write a book about you. Yeah, you'll be one of the greatest, worst mayors in the history of the United States of America. Anyway, I get tired.
Start off at your park.
Her talking. She's talking about herself. They're going over the report.
Trustee Stan Brown.
Aye.
Trustee Tammy Brown.
Aye.
Trustee House.
Aye.
Trustee Holmes.
No.
Trustee Norwood.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Okay. All right. All right, Trustee Brown. Let's move forward. Go ahead. Is there a motion to pay the AP warrant list?
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Did she go back over there?
July the 1st, 2024, corporate payments, 1,634,000.
Tiffany probably mad because Belcher and Stan Brown getting along. They up there laughing with each other. Tiffany face, I wish we could zoom in to see her face, what kind of face she has. Like, why the hell are you talking to her? You supposed to be on my team.
$4,252.33. Gross payroll, June the 14th, 2024, $427,744.27. Gross payroll for 6/28/2024, $435,613.71. Melanie Fitness registered $1,244.32 for total corporate payments of $2,498,854.63. Their motion to accept is read.
All right, is there a second? It's been a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Yes, Mayor, I have another superseding motion.
Okay.
This will be approving the bills as read with the following removals. These are the same individuals that were removed in the previous month, so this is nothing new, just a matter of record. So approving the bills as read, removing page 5, Delgado Law Group, $119,620.81. Page 5, existing concrete, $14,123.03. Page 6, 5 Star, $122,325. Page 7, John's Pro Trees, $155,000 even. Page 8, K&M Ventures, $183,950. Page 8, Lopez Lawn Maintenance, $10,050. Page 9, Mosca Design, $65,700. Page 11, Raul and Sons, $181,950. And page 13, White Coat Pool Solutions, $34,788.58. A motion is to approve the bills with the following items removed.
Second.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
All right, any discussion?
Yes.
Go ahead.
On this page where enterprise fleets, I know that the gentleman has stated that the payments were delinquent, and I asked for a copy of the leases. We approved this in September 7th of 2021. Based on because I went back to look at the YouTube, we approved to trade out the vehicles. The vehicles that we have, because we currently had at that time 46 vehicles. You guys have bought 30 new vehicles, which totaled $1,105,000 and some change. My question to that was, and I asked I don't know what Devontae's title is at this point, but I asked in reference to did we turn in some vehicles? Because when I looked at the meeting, it said based on we were going to be turning in vehicles for the lease for the fleets. None of the guy, Christopher Fry, who emailed me back, said that none of the vehicles was turned in. So if we didn't turn in any vehicles and we purchased 28 new vehicles, because that's what the exact total is, 28 new vehicles, where are those old vehicles?
So why don't you think we have the old vehicles?
You said what?
I said, why you don't think we have the old vehicles?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked me that. I was asking a question, but the reason I'm asking that is because historically, if you're selling anything, it should go through the board. Because in 2021, you put that you were selling some stuff in the basement and you bought it in front of us and said, this stuff is a surplus, that we have to go in front of the body to sell stuff. But y'all been selling these cars on govdeals.org and it hasn't came across the board.
First of all, we didn't sell anything from out of the basement.
Lie. I got it. Her name is
We did
Molly.
not sell anything from out of the basement. When you guys said you did not want to clean, hold on, you did. When you guys said you did not want to clean Village Hall, that's right when I got in office, all that trash, all that junk, whether it was couches, furniture, it's still down there now. So we did not. As relates to vehicles, that would be Keith Freeman question, because he the one handles the vehicles, as you know this already. But no, but you know all this already. So when we get to the board meeting, I don't understand why we grandstand.
Have you guys noticed when Tiffany get caught with her pants down, she gets irate? You got caught, you're lying, you get caught in a lie, now you're mad, you go on attack. If Keith Freeman can answer that question, he's right there. Why don't you let him talk? He's your administrator. Why don't you let him talk? You know why they're not it's not going in the village bank account. It's going on in some of their bank accounts. They're probably pocketing that money.
You said, and I quote, I spoke to Keith Freeman. So if you guys have that type of rapport, why don't you do that before you get here instead of putting on a show? And you would get your answer instead of putting on a show once again. Why do you think so?
Okay, so,
Let them talk it out.
so let me say this, because I think that for one, you never addressed the fact that it was supposed to go through the board. However, you just wanted to spend it. Two, I did speak to Keith Freeman. Keith, when I called you about what?
I think that's a.
When I called you,
Wait,
what did I
hold
call
up,
you
hold
about?
up, stop. Before you start with the whole stuttering thing, just relax. Everybody relax.
Hold on.
Here we go.
Hold on.
Here we go. I'm very respectful for everybody. Let's be respectful.
All right, citizens,
Guys, you're out of
citizens,
order.
be quiet, let them talk.
I think the first thing is that if you did have a question, I think the best thing to do, because you know I would have answered the question, is if you called me. I think I would have answered the question. If I couldn't answer the question, at least I would have been able to tell you I can't answer the question. Second thing is all fleet. Every single vehicle that's in our fleet is being managed by the police department. They have a spreadsheet. And I would have been able to tell you which vehicles have been swapped out and which ones weren't. The other thing is, the last part is to answer all of your questions is that if you and I had a conversation with Chris Fry, then maybe we would have been able to get to the bottom of it. And as opposed to answering it right now, and it's a loaded question and I have nothing in front of me to answer. One more thing too. I think this is really, really important. And this enterprise deal was done prior to me being here.
Correct.
It was a Dorothy Brown deal.
That's correct.
So if I don't have the contract in front of me and the contract doesn't say, hey, listen, maybe these particular vehicles are being swapped out, this VIN number, swapped out for this amount, then I can't tell you that. So I agree that it's a valid question.
No. Keith, you've been there 2-3 years. It doesn't matter what the contract said. It doesn't matter if they closed the contract prior to you getting there. You know the lease is up. If you know that, you should have pulled that old contract. So you're just paying on the bills and you don't know where they're coming from? You're trying to pass the buck. Oh, this contract was signed before I got here, so we're just gonna no. So and let me, you guys, this is how stupid he sounds right now. I'm here and you got 10 cars. Say we got 10 cars. One is a lease, or 5 are leases, and the other 5 we're buying. Okay, I got to turn in my lease. Wouldn't you pull up the date the date that you got to turn it in instead of selling them illegally? You don't even own the vehicles to sell them, and you're selling them. Even if you said, oh, we want to sell these vehicles, wouldn't you pull the contract to see if you actually own the vehicles? Does that make any sense? What he's saying? You've been there for 3 years. There's no excuse. Accountability. These people lack it. They're trying to pass the buck on each other. That's how stupid they are. Tiffany said, oh, that's a Keith Freeman question. Keith Freeman is saying, well, this contract was signed prior to me getting here. So you just gonna start selling vehicles that you don't own? Is that how stupid you are? For real, Keith?
But what I think is a better way of communicating with me and probably everybody else, so we don't get all the R's and O's, is maybe you can contact me and maybe we can continue the relationship that we have of communicating prior to us getting here. That would have been respectful, so we wouldn't just be put on the hook like this.
That's true. And you
Thank
know
you.
what?
I
And I definitely appreciate that. But as our conversation went, when I asked about why our agenda items wasn't on there, and he said, well, you know, then that conversation when the mayor was not available, it should have been that somebody would have got back to us. So I'm not trying to put you on the hook for anything. She the one said, talk to you about it. I know exactly when it took place. Dorothy Brown was here. The lease was signed October 15th. I don't need you, me, and Chris Fry on there. What my conversation was to you about, or to the board or whoever is running the day-to-day operations, is that if these are something that, not even the cars, the fact that selling anything that's a surplus goes in front of the board of trustees. Am I not right?
You're right about that, but
Okay.
we didn't have a conversation about that on the phone.
That's
you didn't
true.
mention that on the phone. What you mentioned to me was that you would like to place on the agenda a discussion item. You didn't say, and I quote, I want to discuss this prior to me putting it on the agenda. That's one. The second thing is that part of that agreement may say that you are swapping out whatever those vehicles are. And I can't have an intelligent conversation with you about that if it's not in front of me. I think to be helpful to one another, so I can be prepared, so that the mayor can be prepared, and everyone in our administration can be prepared, it would have been better served for us to have that conversation prior to now.
That's fine. Take the cars out. The issue is anything that goes as a surplus that's being sold by the village of Dalton, does it go in front of the board of trustees? Yes or no?
Yes. Now, can
Okay.
I ask you a question? May I ask a question?
Absolutely.
Do you have a copy of the contract with Enterprise in front of you that says that, hey, listen, these are a list of vehicles that could be swapped out that was already prior approved for the board?
Absolutely. You know I do.
That's
And
good.
I got the email that says, hi, Kiana, attached is the current active lease schedules, as well as the list in the Excel of current vehicles on the lease with Enterprise. I don't see where we ever received a vehicle to sell on your behalf or to trade in. Also, I've attached a master lease agreement in case that you need it for a reference. I'll work on pulling all of the invoices. Please let me know about payment.
So you answered the question yourself.
No.
The question, listen, no,
that's not the
listen,
question.
listen, wait, hold on.
That's not the question.
No.
Because I have a separate list of
You're not
Excel sheets
listening to
of
what I'm
cars that
saying.
have been sold.
You're not listening to what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that if you guys already have a master list of the vehicles that are supposed to be sold,
It's not you guys, Kiana does.
Kiana, okay. Trustee Belcher, if you have a master list of the vehicles that are always supposed to be sold, then you already agreed to it as a board.
No,
And without,
this is the list of cars that we purchased, not to be sold.
that's what I asked. That's the question.
This is the list of
No,
cars
no,
that
no.
we purchased.
You missed the question.
Okay, guys. So you do know
The
this is
end
on
all
the,
was, if they're selling anything, it should go
So you
in
know
front
you
of the
got to sign.
board. Excuse me?
you know this is on the agenda item. So I guess we're not gonna discuss it no longer after y'all get done.
I mean, as long as you keep putting a fire mic on there, so as many times as we can put it on there, we can.
No,
discuss
what
it.
I'm saying is you're discussing it now. We're in the middle of bills. That's an
And
item
this is
to
a,
be
and this
discussed.
is a financial issue.
And that's fine, but I'm saying it's on the agenda for discussion. So
And
why
this
would
is
we
a
not?
financial
You
issue.
won't listen. Forget it. All right, Keith, that's enough. All right, what else? Anything else? That's it. We done.
I do have one comment if I.
Go ahead.
I just want to, and this is more a matter of record because I heard the firefighter make mention about the bills not being paid or that the board were not responding. On this warrant list, I'm looking at the Dalton professional firefighters, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 payments, one from an April 5th payday, one from May 17th payday, one from December 29th, 23 payday, one from April 19th payday, one from May 31st, and one from 6/14. Totaling $5,980. That is included on this list. It's included for payment, but I want to make sure that the hardworking firemen know that the board is just seeing this for the first time, and we're glad to approve these items when they are presented. Thank you.
All right. Anything else?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The when we discuss bills, and this is mainly just so we clear for the residents. The point is that there's a mismanagement of money and they're not prioritizing the spending. That's the entire part. That's the hassle for us, because as residents, our goal is to make sure that when you all call, you all have these services. But if they
Kimberly Christmas, I believe her name is. Sorry to stop it. It's info@chawanneburns.com. That's my email. info@chawanneburns.com. The problem with this is, like I said, when Tiffany and Keith Freeman get caught with their pants down, they go on attack. They try to blame each other. They even try to put each other against each other. They throw the other person under the bus and not knowing what's going on. They're not following procedures. That's why you have this chaos in the village of Dalton, because they refuse to follow the procedures. They're just doing whatever they want to, willy-nilly. That's why Norwood is saying, hey, you're not following the procedures. If you're going to sell something, you know it has to go before the board before you sell something or even purchase something. Buy or sell, you got to go before the board. It has to be approved.
continue to mismanage the money when they're sitting in first class seats, but they can't fix the streets. That's a problem. So we have an issue where even when we talk about the leases, the issue of the leases coming up is the fact that, yes, we did as a board vote on the enterprise contract because we did feel as if it was necessary to have newer cars for our employees. However, when you have $1 million in leases that we did not approve, the issue is that we cannot afford it. Let's take the Tahoes back with all of that interest and pay the firefighters what is due to them moving forward. There are other ways to spend this money. We're not prioritizing. Everything is a party. There's nothing to celebrate when you have employees that are not being taken care of the right way, when they're not being compensated properly. So again, these things are not being brought in front of the board. And what happens is we're going broke, and we continue to say this, and this is a big issue. So again, I'm going to say there's a lack of transparency. We know that there's a lot of things that's going on that we don't even know about, such as with the credit card statements. They continue to refuse to give us those. They increased that credit card limit from $20,000 a month to $50,000 a month. And every month it's replenishing and things are being spent every month. And of course, it's unbeknownst to the board. So again, residents, these are issues. These are the reasons why you see us have this back and forth, because you all need to know how the money is being spent. I heard her make a comment regarding taxes. It's unbelievable to me that you sit here and tell a resident that we're the reason why their taxes are increasing when we all know that you don't follow a budget. So common sense tells us all, anybody who have a household, that when you don't follow a budget, you cause a deficit. Any money that's not approved for, so that $1 million skating rink that wasn't approved for, guess what? The taxpayers have to pay for it somehow. So whether the board approved it or not, we're all still paying for it, because again, with a deficit, anytime there's overspending, that difference is on the backs of the taxpayers. So despite the things that are going on in the South suburbs in general, you have a leader who continues to spend, and that's the reason why taxes are increasing, because they cannot follow a budget to save their lives. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
One thing to add to that. It's a shame when we make bills and we don't pay our bills. If you look at those beautiful signs down Sibley, we still owe $65,000, $65,700 as of today's date. These people are looking for their money. Their money. We can't continue to do reckless spending when we already owe so many vendors. It's sad that we constantly keep making bills on top of bills that we are not paying. The email is here. So again, when you say it's a lie, it's fake news, it's right here in black and white. I spoke to them Friday. They want their money, and who can blame them? But come down Sibley, as I told them, and you can see all your beautiful banners hung on Sibley. But today's date, they have not been paid. It's a shame that we cannot pay the vendors. And we sit here and say, it's a lie, it's a lie. It's no lie. It's the truth. We're not paying our bills. So let's stop making bills until we pay the bills that we have already made. Thank you.
Okay, so in the end, everybody made their little victory speech. Hey, great. But the truth is, you guys don't pay people because you pull them off the warrant list. The residents are not slow. They see what's going on. You saying pay the vendors, they did the work. But yet, y'all just took a ton of people off from getting paid. They did the work, right? Then pay them. Approve it. But y'all won't do it. But everybody give a speech about, hey, we're not paying people. That's because the board chooses not to pay certain people. You take certain people off. That's called targeting. And I get it, because you guys want to control the narrative of everything, but you're the one creating all chaos and all the misunderstanding. Because once again, I've stated before, if you really wanted answers, you would call. I always say call me, now y'all call me. And you would come and sit down and talk about whatever you feel you don't like, don't understand. But you guys don't do that. It's all about a show for everybody now. And that's what's so sad. So then when we get out here, we got to try to lie to the public about whatever's going on. Just like how y'all talking about the firemen and they came up. Of course, you know I'm gonna get to the bottom of whatever it is. I'm gonna do a whole video about it, because just because somebody say something, don't make it true. Don't make it factual until you fact.
Tiffany, this is why I get so upset with Tiffany. You're the mayor. You're talking about making a damn video with your firefighters. You haven't paid, what is it? Their insurance, union dues, workman's comp insurance, for account missings of deposits of their 401k. They haven't negotiated any contract. They've been out of a contract for 5 years, and you barely can make payroll. So what the hell are you talking about, Tiffany, making a video? Talking about, I'm going to get to the bottom of this. This is insane. What the hell are you talking about making a video? That's why you need bodyguards now, because you sound stupid. You sound stupid. You are playing with people's lives. They're risking their lives going into burning buildings and get injured on a job, and they get a bill. You are costing the citizens more money, because I'm pretty sure the firefighter, that union, probably take out a lawsuit against the village of Dalton once they find out they haven't been paying their into their dues and into their 401k. They're probably gonna, or their pension plan. They're gonna file a lawsuit against you. And who has to pay for it? The village of Dalton. The taxpayers. That's who has to pay for that. Not you. You're going to be in jail somewhere. You're going to be in jail after you spent this money, don't know what you spent it on. And you're going to have some type of big ass restitution, but you're going to be in jail. They're going to give you probably about 40 years, Tiffany. The shit you doing. I'm going to get to the bottom of this. So they're not even there. You calling them a liar. Everybody's lying on you.
Check it. How you know what's true? And then you guys just allowing everybody's name about people taking things. No one's taking anything. For what? For what? So all I'm saying to y'all is like, come on, man, get some clarity to the why. And
yeah, you have everything to gain. Tiffany, we already discovered, Lavelle Redmond, the guy who had the sexual assault on his record like 30 years ago. He did a whole interview with Jedadiah Brown. He revealed that Tiffany is from the west side of the Chicago. And don't she act like it? She act like a west side of Chicago hood booger. You're not even from Dalton. You're lying. You're lying about that. So what are you talking about, Tiffany? Everybody lying on you besides you. You're the only ones telling the truth. All the vendors are lying. The people that you ain't paying the $65,000 banners that it should have came out of your campaign fund. You spend it on and plastering your damn face everywhere. You ain't even pay them. You didn't pay for the skating rink. They probably still owe for that. $1 million damn. Can you imagine? Especially, I didn't show the lady. She got up there and spoke. And she was saying that her block is hideous. Her block and her alley streetway is hideous. Can you imagine paying taxes? And she said her taxes went up crazy. Paying taxes, and you got the worst block in Chicago or in the village of Dolton. And you paying $5,000-$6,000 on taxes a year. And your streets are not paved. You don't even have street lights. It flood on your street because the infrastructure. But everybody's lying on you, Tiffany. Everybody, even the vendors are lying on you. You already was called out. The vendors that been calling them, they approved some of those vendors, and you guys ain't paying them. You're lying.
Want to help,
and you talking about making a damn video. You sound stupid.
Community, you guys on this board for 4 years, and I see y'all do nothing at all, but keep up chaos and mess and confusion. That's it. You guys are supposed to do what? Legislate. Y'all don't even do that. Y'all go have y'all little secret squirrel meetings, and y'all put whatever y'all want for y'all agenda on the agenda, and then y'all come to the actual board meeting and cry about what y'all feel y'all can't do, but y'all go to the other meeting and do what y'all want to do. Don't make no sense. The residents not slow. They see this, and all I'm saying to y'all is like, talk before you get to the board meeting. Have conversations about something that's on the agenda before you get to the board meeting, so everybody will be prepared. Because when y'all ask the question, half the time they don't have it in front of them. But y'all job is to try to make people look like they're doing something that they're not. Then when they give you the answer, you don't come back and clear it up. Just like the news don't. When they make a mistake, they just leave a mistake out there about whatever they said about a person. It's the same thing. But we can do better.
The news, they will retract the statements and we reported this was misinformation. Some of them do that. But most of the stuff that they're reporting about you is true, Tiffany. All you do is complain. Oh, they lying on me. This is clickbait. This is fake news. No, it's not.
If we want better, but y'all don't want better. Y'all want to keep confusion up and chaos. And I'm tired of it. Y'all got to want to show the public that we can work together. We, us, had a board meeting. Think about it. We only see each other once a month. That's it. Once a month we see y'all. I don't see y'all at the grocery store. I don't see y'all at the gas station, at Walgreens. Hold on. I'm not done. I don't see y'all nowhere in the city that you supposed to live in.
It's not a back and forth.
Wow. Don't. So all I'm saying to you guys is y'all got to really, really want more than just creating a whole negative narrative every single time it's a board meeting. And that's why I normally don't give this any attention or time at this moment. I go let y'all vote because you guys already got your mind made up. It's my open meetings act. How y'all voting the same? That means y'all met, talked about it, came up with a plan, came here, y'all all vote together. No matter what we say, even if we answered the question, you still vote against whatever we gave you the answer to. So it can't just be your way. It can't just be y'all right and we wrong. It don't work that way. We give you the facts, we give you the truth, and you guys still keep the turmoil going. We got to say enough is enough. We got to move forward. And I get it. It's election time. Everybody got a voice. Everybody want to say something. Well, y'all could have been doing more work together, us together, before we got to this point.
The CPA's office not here. That would solve a lot of.
To work together on what we're going to do next, not fight against somebody's vision because y'all don't have a vision. That's the sad part about it. I give you a vision, I give you what we're gonna do next, but yet nobody wants to work together.
Mayor.
I'm done with it.
Okay, Mayor, can I ask, Mayor, I just have.
I want to slow this one down. I fast forwarded because I was tired of listening to her talk.
A question, because you made that wonderful statement. I actually have
Well, I
two
don't have
questions.
any
Okay,
more
if you
answers for-
say that we meet once a month, and every time, I've said this before, it don't never really go bad till we get to finance. Why is the finance person not here? Why is the person that cut the checks not here? Why isn't the CPA's office not here? That would solve a lot of things. Since you're talking about nobody calls you, nobody called Keith or whatever, you just said it out your mouth. We meet once a month. I mean, as much money as all these people, we just approved $43,000 for the CPA. The other person that's doing payroll stuff make almost $90,000. They can't afford one meeting a month to come and give us an explanation. And then you steady saying, yes, you went and got the money. I done asked for, I don't know how many months. Where is it at? We waiting to see some type of receipt of a deposit, some type of something to say we got it. Well, we seen that we had it, but it hasn't hit the village of Dalton. So when you sat there and did all of that, nobody wants to go back and forth, but you can never give an answer, a definite answer. Have we received $6.8 million? Okay, why is the finance person? Last month, I asked the same thing. Why the finance person not here? No answer. It's Monday again. What is Monday, her off days? Well, maybe we should change the meeting. I don't know. But it don't make no sense that we have to keep doing this. It makes no sense at all.
Okay.
All right.
I got one more comment.
Okay, after you, that's the end of discussion. We're gonna move on a vote so we can get through this agenda.
Just to follow up on Trustee Belcher's point, after last meeting, I did email the CPA and ask them to be present or in attendance. They responded saying that they were willing. They were actually here in the parking lot and were not allowed into the building. Thank you.
All right, is that it? All right, call the roll.
She be tricking us.
All right, call the roll.
So you got called out on that too. You don't want nobody to know the finances because you know the finances are not financing. The finances is not finances. Your books are not balanced. They're in the red. So that's basically what the problem is. They're robbing to pay Peter and Paul. They're robbing Peter to pay Paul. They don't get no money. They don't have any money. And they're trying to keep it away from the trustees. That's why they're refusing to pay bills. The bills that were approved. That's why they're behind. Like those cars, the fleet cars. This is the second. How many cars do you need? Didn't they just have this problem? Like at the beginning of January, that the police officers, they end up getting 6 brand new cars and they were behind like $70,000 in payments and they was threatened to repo them. And then now you have another 20 to 30 odd cars that's they supposed to turn in. You're behind in the payments, allegedly, I guess. So how many cars do you need? And where are these cars? Who's driving these cars? It doesn't make sense. I thought they only had like 12 people on their police force. So who else gets a vehicle? I guess if you work for the city, you get a vehicle. That's a little ludicrous.
Trustee Belcher.
Aye.
Trustee Stan Brown.
No.
Trustee Tammy Brown.
Aye.
Trustee House.
Aye.
Trustee Holmes.
No.
Trustee Norwood.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Okay. All right. Next on the agenda is new business. Motion to terminate contract of Odison, Stark, Murphy, Frazier, and McGrath LTD as legislative counsel. I put this on the agenda every single time because you guys know, like I know, the person that's basically their puppet master is Odison, Bert Odison. Right now, he are creating chaos amongst our community. He has our community divided. What he do is go into communities and divide and conquer, especially the Black and brown communities. I've been saying this over and over again, and he's on the money grab. Every single time they act.
We already know that's not true. You guys go back to that one video I posted. The individual that used to work for Dolton Township, I think he was like the maintenance manager, they fired him because he was on the board, the school board. And they came to him saying, hey, we want you to hire Delgado and we need your vote. He didn't agree to it, so they fired him from the Dolton Township. He's still the trustee at the school board, but he filed a lawsuit for wrongful termination. And coming to find out, Tiffany and Keith Freeman tried to take over. So what are you talking about money grab? They're trying to grab the school board money too. You're the only one that's doing the money grab, Tiffany. Nobody else is doing the money grab. It's you.
Asked me to go into closed session to give the lawyer cases. How dare him ask us to give him cases when he's suing the village? So you have to take it for what it is. That is what Odison is doing, but he wants us to give him all of the cases for the village of Dalton. We're not going to do that. At the end of the day, my level of power is I am the one that say he can have cases or not. And the answer is no. So I will not be bullied. I will not be manipulated into doing anything by this board of trustees as it relates to Bert Odison's group. And then also, he needs to stop with the back and forth with the board of trustees. They keep him on, and I don't understand why. If somebody's not getting paid, you should ask your question. You should ask yourself this question: if a person's not getting paid, why are they still where they are? You saw the main attorney, which is the Delgado law firm, stop because he was not getting paid. But yet their attorneys come in and muscle everybody and say, "Hey, you know what? We want all the cases, even though we suing you, meaning the village of Dalton. We suing y'all, but we want to represent all the cases for the village of Dalton." He does not represent the village of Dalton.
Delgado didn't get paid. Tiffany, you control the checkbook. If he didn't get paid because you didn't pay him, and you trying to pass the buck on to, the trustees. We know you're using the money for something. I'm pretty sure you was paying Delgado Law Group without board approval. And how many other vendors you was paying? Like that $561,000 check that you wrote. And you thought that was okay. That don't even make no sense.
I repeat, he does not represent the village of Dalton, and he will not get any cases from the village of Dalton. So for him or anybody to think that the board has the power to give him cases, they do not. I repeat, they do not, will not, cannot. So I keep telling y'all this. I keep stating the facts to y'all. I'm telling y'all what's going on as it relates to that law firm. They keep on doing all the mess in our village, and I'm tired of it. And if you go and pay attention to any other, is there a motion to adjourn this meeting so we can go into the next meeting? Is there a motion to adjourn? Is there a second? Second. Is there a motion and second? Call the roll.
Trustee Belcher. Aye. Trustee Stan Brown.
Aye.
Trustee Tammy Brown.
Aye.
Trustee House.
Aye.
Trustee Holmes.
Aye.
Trustee Norwood.
Aye.
This meeting adjourned at 8:58 p.m.
All right, next I would like to call an order special board meeting of the trustees. Today is July 1st, 2024, and the time is 8:57 p.m. Please call the roll.
8:58.
Whatever it is. Call the roll.
Trustee Belcher.
Aye.
Trustee Stan Brown.
Aye.
Trustee Tammy Brown.
Aye.
Trustee House.
This is a roll call, right?
Yeah, here. I'm sorry. Here. I'm here.
No.
The wrong one in the first seat.
Trustee Holmes. Trustee Belcher. Norwood.
Present.
We have a quorum.
All right. Did anybody else sign up for public comment? Okay. Nobody? Okay.
Whew.
All right.
So, I was hoping that I would not see less fighting and more cooperation, but I guess hope springs eternal, right? I guess is this on? Y'all hear me okay? Yeah. Okay. So for the record, my name is Armando Grundy Gomez, and as the mayor so duly noted and where I came from, I guess I didn't actually fly here. I drove here, but I didn't. But wow, I really don't want to make this into a back and forth about who was. I do want to give shout out to Mr. Steve, your former trustee. I do think it's interesting that we all still can't come together, but I do love the brilliance of when people that are quasi-literate and try to say they understand the law. I'm going to trust a lawyer before I trust somebody that understands the law. Mr. Delgado, man, you should be looking a little uncomfortable. I don't know if that's gas or something going there, but you might want to try something for that. But listen, we all need to really do. I'm being facetious in my jokes there. That's not cool. So I really know it's not really cool because we all need to be grown-ups. And
I'm not seeing grown-ups there. But I do want to say something as somebody that likes public administration. And when I see an administrator who should be apolitical in their role, but wants to say somebody is stuttering, that's interesting. That's really rich. When you want to attack a woman, you're a big old bully. And so I like bullies, and I think you're a bully. And so you're sitting next to a bully, so your leader's a bully. And so you like to bully women. Interesting. How rich of you? How convenient of you? So somebody asks you a question about something you should already have knowledge of, but you can't answer a question about the facts or what they are. So leaders should be leaders and should answer questions and not say, I want to just bully on woman. So interesting. So we got a lot of bullies in the room and somebody projected too much. So yeah, I said it. So there we go. And I'm yawning too because I'm tired of hearing you. So there you go. Goodbye.
You know what? I'm back again. Okay, we did our shit show. And you all were hard-headed. Do me a favor. You're going to hear the same lies over and over. The same answers. You're not going to get anything new with all the cat calls. So this meeting is our trustees meeting. Can we give them the respect? Because you don't care about that other bullshit anyway. Now, we got Delgado. He unasked that fee. Did he not? We want the rest of his firm to unask it too, because you are the idiot that sat at the township meeting looking the same way you do now. And when folks want to quote the law to me, bring a lawyer, a real lawyer with a law book, because that bullshit she's spouting don't mean shit. She sits here and tells us what her job is and what their job is, but she disregards their job. She won't let them do it. So don't quote the law to me when it works for you. Quote the law to me when it works for everybody.
So I was a little upset and frazzled earlier. I'm just going to be very specific. First of all, I want to give kudos to your staff. Everybody finally seemed to have gained a mind of their own for the most part. And the respect that's given is the respect that's reciprocated. We could have been here a long time ago. Definitely shocked and proud to see Brother Stan Brown, because I was ashamed to be a Brown, but it seems like you're finally catching up. And literally, I think that what the people are asking for is not unreasonable. And it is really interesting to see somebody sitting in the people's business speaking about not being prepared to answer questions of an elected official. And to think that they can do that with an attitude or sass or zestiness is a little disrespectful. And so I would encourage Mr. Freeman to make sure that the next time you come, you do like Kiana and just bring all your damn files. And then the last thing that I'm going to say is I did notice that my good fellow advocate Andrew Holmes is in the building. And that's why literally I wish that I would have looked up before I read the statement, because as it relates to you, you're the reason that I'm here. And you're the reason that everybody is going through what they're going through as it relates to an advocate, because you're supposed to be one. But you've been accused of something that's very shameful. And the least you could have done is given us a very basic and comprehensive statement, literally giving sympathy and understanding to a survivor, be it that you felt that it was true or not. And you could have at least declared your innocence, which noted you haven't done. And so I'm simply asking you right now, because me sitting here looking at your face, I'm utterly disgusted. Because how dare you take your ass back outside and stand with any family when there's a woman with a child that's waiting on a response from you, literally as an elected official and as an advocate about what you did. Was it consensual? Was it not? Did you rape that woman? Did you put something in her drink? And damn it, you gonna answer, and you gonna answer me. I promise you that.
Yeah, man, we recognize. You know, I'm gonna.
Hey, out of order, you out of order, you out of order, hey. See?
Shameful. And the least you could have done is given.
I got to replay this. I had to replay this.
That's a very basic and comprehensive statement, literally giving sympathy and understanding to a survivor, be it that you felt that it was true or not. And you could have at least declared your innocence, which noted you haven't done. And so I'm simply asking you right now, because me sitting here looking at your face, I'm utterly disgusted. Because how dare you take your ass back outside and stand with any family when there's a woman with a child that's waiting on a response from you, literally as an elected official and as an advocate about what you did. Was it consensual? Was it not? Did you rape that woman? Did you put something in her drink? And damn it, you gonna answer, and you gonna answer me. I promise you that.
May I re-recognize? You know, I'm gonna.
Hey, out of order, you out of order, you out of order, hey.
Oh, but Andrew Holmes, he was like, come on. He was calling him over there. He was like, okay. This was interesting.
See?
So the mic is bad on this this audio. They don't pick up surround sounds. It sounds like they're telling everybody to get out. Well, you know, there was, let me just see if I could find it, because let me just see. It looked like Andrew Holmes was like, come on over here. So he called him over here, and I guess that probably set Jedediah off. He was antagonizing him. So I mean, I can see that happening like that. Let me see if I could find that news report. No, I just saw it earlier. I think it's on CBS Chicago. Let me just see if I can pull it up right quick. Oh yeah, this is it. Yeah, you guys put it in the chat. Didn't it look like Andrew Holmes was telling him to come here, and he probably was antagonizing him, even though Jedediah said what he said, which he was right. Yeah, I mean, you supposed to be a political activist or survivor activist or whatever, and someone made claims against you, you could at least give us a response. And you're official. You're a trustee.
New heights, this time even leading to a person taken away in handcuffs at a board meeting last night in Dolton. Our Mugo Odigwe in the CBS Chicago control room with more on the outrage last night. Mugo also, of course, updating us on how we got here.
Yeah, there's just a lot going on. So from an investigation into Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard and whether or not she misused public funds to a sexual assault allegation, we know Dolton board meetings, they have been chaotic. And last night, Audrina, was no different.
Did you rape that woman? Did you put something in her drink? And damn it, you gonna answer, and you gonna answer me. Promise you that.
Now that is activist Jedadiah Brown walking from the podium over to village trustee Andrew Holmes. An officer pushes Brown away while Holmes is stopped from walking over to him. Brown is eventually pulled out of the meeting by officers. Holmes is accused of sexually assaulting a former Dolton employee. His accuser says it happened during a village-funded trip in Las Vegas. Meanwhile, members of the Firefighters Union also spoke up last night.
Since January of 2020, the village has chose not to settle a contract.
I'm just reading some of your chat. Someone said that Andrew Holmes did that because of what Jedidah said to him on the way to the table. What did he say? He called him a rapist, or we can't say rape on YouTube. A grapist. That's what you say. So did he call him a name? I need to know. I just think the allegations against Andrew Holmes is really disgusting. When I read the report, I wanted to vomit. I just really wanted to vomit. We went over the report, and I think it's just so disgusting. Not only a man, she called you uncle, not only a man, and basically your superior, and you took advantage of that person. You drugged her. And she couldn't even remember. Only reason why we know the incident happened because he was bragging about it. That's the only reason why these allegations was made, because he was bragging about it to a police officer of all people. If more people were like Jed, Andrew would have been too afraid to attend any meeting, period. I think you're right. If we have more men at the village, don't attend the meeting. Tiffany should have nipped that in the butt. No, we don't want you here at the meeting. You being like a black lady, a black woman, you need to champion for black women. You should have said, no, you're not welcome here. And she has the authority to do that. Allegedly, I don't know. Yuga fan, thank you for the super chat. Still waiting on the date. LOL, keep up the streams. Yeah, you're gonna be waiting, brother. You're gonna be waiting because I was married. But thank you for the super chat though. I think did Jedediah, he's passionate. Did he act wrong? I think he could have handled that better. I think he spoke. I appreciate what he was saying, but his actions after that, he could have calmed that down. But maybe because the camera was there, he was like, "Oh, let me show you what I can do." So I don't know. But it looks like Andrew Holmes was antagonizing him. He said what he said, and that was just a bunch of bad beef. And I think they were already beefed out prior to this incident anyway. That's what I'm assuming. That's what I've been told, allegedly. So they don't have, they're not on good terms anyway. So maybe that's what their problem is. But you know what? You have a man that's attending the meetings like nothing happened. And you have Tiffany Henyard acting like nothing happened with one of her main supporters. So there's a problem with this administration. And Trustee Holmes, whatever he said to you, you are a trustee. So you're telling him to come on, and he's just a citizen. We hold you to a higher standard. So did Jedediah act extreme? Probably so. But Trustee Holmes, you're telling somebody, come on, let's box or square up. That's a problem within itself. And if you're mad about what Jedediah is saying, why didn't you come out with a statement? I'm sorry. You should have came out with a statement. Claim your innocence. But you can't. You can't claim innocence because I hear there's a recording of you. A recording of you bragging about taking this girl stuff. And it doesn't belong to you. Anyway. Claiborne Hudson, you can't be accused of sexually assaulting a woman, but don't know one to say anything, but prefer he check his emotions is laughable. All the trustees are cool with each other, including Andrew Holmes. Kiana was the one to be okay with Holmes being back. Y'all need to investigate on your own. I'm not for sure. Allegedly, we don't know. We don't know. Andrew Holmes, if you said Belcher was cool for him to be back, but Belcher didn't want to sit by him. So what are we saying here? Anyway, that don't even make no sense. I appreciate what he said. I stand with women and sex assault survivors. Jedediah actions brought the wrong kind of attention. The focus is Tiffany and her administration. Holmes acted poorly too. Exactly. Trustees can't make another trustees step down. They are elected officials. No, they can't. And I think I posed that question. I was talking offline to one of them, and they don't have that in their legislation. However, it might be the mayor's responsibility. I'm pretty sure the mayor could. Maybe not. But she can launch an investigation on him. She lied and said she did an independent investigation. But nobody ever came with the investigation report. So she lied about that. And you still got Fania Dukes. You fired her and forced her on leave, then fire her. And of course she's going to sue you. You made her to be out like she was the wrong one. And she was the victim. Okay. Advocacy, thank you for tuning in. Hit the like button. So, I mean, you guys, I mean, Jedediah, he probably acted, extreme, but I think Andrew Holmes, he's an elected official. He shouldn't have egg, and you telling somebody, come on, let's box, and you in the town hall. It doesn't make any sense. And you 60-11. You trying to box somebody 30. Like that would, well, we couldn't say that. We don't know if Andrew Holmes could box or not. I don't think he can because he's going around doing stuff to girls. I don't think he can. But you guys, that's it. That's all I got to say about that. You guys remember, let me just share this other channel with you. If you're tuning into this channel, subscribe to this other channel. This channel is really political commentary, and I'm going to start doing 30-minute segments start next week in the morning, 9 a.m. in the morning. So like 30-minute segments, and we'll talk about politics and stuff like that. So I am sending all my good to you. You guys, thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate every single last one of you, all the super chats, all the like buttons, all the comments. I really appreciate it. And tomorrow we'll be on at the same time at 1:30. I am sending all my good to you. I will talk to you tomorrow.